Well, this is awkward. It's been a while. Yeah, it's been a hot minute. Hello. I don't really know how to do this anymore. Oh. Have you drank water today? Because you should do that. I'm just gonna get into this. Basically, I'm back. We're so back, baby. No, but for real. Just thought we'd come on here and have a really candid conversation about content creation. I thought of that recently and I thought, wow, that really rolls off the tongue. And so I'm gonna utilize that and capitalize on the candid conversation of content creation. A few reasons for this. No one's new here. No one is watching these. There were at one point 60 of you. Amazing. Thank you so much. Now, I don't know who will ever watch these, but there were a few things I noticed in my 2 to 3 year hiatus with content creation. I think last time around that I was doing this whole thing, I was doing way too much. I was doing way too much. I was doing the TikTok. I was doing the gram. I was writing a blog. I was making YouTube. I was going into debt. I was traveling. I was like, it was a lot. And I'm so grateful for the opportunities that did come from that stage of my life. So grateful. But I also was doing way too much. It was like so much divided focus and like trying to make this happen, and then I was like tossing up between, you know, acting and trying to travel the world and be a influencer. And now I am acting. What I have noticed, sorry, let me just readjust. Basically, in my time that I have stopped utilizing social media, I moved to Australia, lived there for 2 years, and kind of just had a lot of work to do in the shadows. So when I was traveling, I don't even know if I made a YouTube video at this point, but I was like in Mexico for a while, and my acting agent dropped me because I was traveling too much. Totally fair. It had been like a year of me not really focusing on acting and not training and not doing anything and not being in a city that I could work. So yeah, he dropped me. And then I was like, okay, cool. I'm gonna go fully into this and just really go full throttle on absolutely everything, which now I know is not necessarily the tactic that works best for me. I think when I look at all of the medias, part of me, to be honest, wants to just throw my phone away entirely and go off grid. And that sounds really, really pleasant. Like, really, really pleasant. But the other part of me is like, oh, it's a tool, it's a resource. I just waste a lot of time on it. In saying that, I do think that longer form video content specifically is something that does feel way more authentic and is something where you can get a bit of personality. And in my hiatus, and now that I've moved back to Canada and I'm readjusting and reacclimating, the content creation portion of my life did require me to get out of the house. I am the world's biggest introvert, so it really forced me out of my comfort zone, which I think was great, because I was like, okay, we're gonna get really real here for a second. I do feel like in Australia, I like definitely lost bits of myself. Not necessarily like because of any specific reason, just because I was doing a lot of like recovery. You know, when I reflect on that period of like not even feeling comfortable in my body, it's hard to say, because when I was creating content consistently, like there was a push to look a certain way or like wear certain outfits so that, you know, I can get this content or whatever. And that kind of took me again out of my comfort zone, but also like made me develop a sense or try and develop a sense of style and like take some risks. And then in Australia, I just felt like I was hiding, I think, a bit. And so when I moved back, I've been having a bit of a crisis. Not really a crisis, but a little bit of a crisis about like, who am I? And what do I look like? And what do I wear? And what do I do with my free time? And all of this stuff, right? So I'm trying to figure out like even my sense of style again. And when I was creating content, you are so forced to have the highlight reel and to have like things that are content worthy that you unintentionally romanticize so much of your life, even though some of it like definitely was manufactured. Like I remember like I used to like dress up or like plan out like 6 outfits and like set out places, and I would like go and like change like in the streets so I could get the content. Like I wasn't even like wearing half this shit out, but it forced me to experiment with that stuff and have a sense of style and have a certain aesthetic. And as much as where I'm at right now, like I've gone the complete polar opposite. I've gone the complete opposite way of since I got back to Canada, trying to figure out what the fuck my aesthetic is. Like I've been dressing like Adam Sandler for 2 years, and I have to figure out like which parts of me I'm moving forward with, in a sense, or like what parts were real and what was just like this whole thing. I don't really know if that makes any sense. I did find that with content creation, I needed to like find my identity in a way, and that actually was really refreshing. Don't get me wrong, I do think that the problem with content creation is the fact that you don't actually see the full thing, which is why I think YouTube's a better form, because I can come on here and actually like talk, and it's not just like a picture of me in like an outfit, right? Like it's like better in that sense. So that's why I'm back. Not fully why I'm back, but kind of why I'm back. Now that I've spent 2 years kind of focusing on acting in film, I am transitioning into more of a writer-director role, which is super exciting, but I also want to start editing. And so I am learning Final Cut Pro. Woo. Yeah, cheers from the bag. Thank you, thank you. Which means that I need video content to edit and to practice editing. So what better way to practice editing video content than to start making my own again. One of my goals for this year is to get really good at editing videos, which means I need videos to edit, which means if I make videos, I can edit them. Bada boom, bada bing. I don't know how consistent I'm gonna be with it. Like that's one of the things that definitely has changed, right? Like I don't feel the urge or the pull to force myself into making content for the sake of learning editing software. Is going to be super, super fun. And also I have, oh boy, now that I'm back in Canada, I don't even know how to say this. I think the stable, consistent life that I was pushing for in Australia isn't necessarily something that I can commit to long term. I love the idea of having home base, but I also love the idea of just like floating around, and I need to find out where home base is going to be. Living in Canada, there's not a lot of places that appeal to me for a full year because of Canadian winter and seasonal depression. That means that I'm going to go back into a bit of the traveling world. A really great thing with acting post-COVID is that because a lot of the stuff is self-tapes, you can be flexible and can audition and make opportunities from wherever you may be. One of the things that I really crave is, you know, community. A lot of my community is film-based, which means they also are a bit of vagabonds who travel around. And so I don't know what's coming up. In order to like leverage this in a way that it is manageable, in order to make this like work long term, I obviously need some flexible income, which I'm working on getting at the moment. And if not, I have no long-term commitments, and so I can definitely go places when I want to, but it's probably not for as long as I was before. So I don't really know what's gonna become of this. Maybe not anything, but I'm out here. I'm gonna make videos when I feel like it. I'm gonna learn, I'm gonna grow, Does anyone even still watch YouTube? Oh God. Yeah, we're coming back to myself, and we're not doing too much and we're not doing too little. And I think that that is the best way to be. If you are curious to see like what content I'm gonna be posting, I know I am, then stay tuned. That's really it. That's literally it. I have nothing else to say. Godspeed, Spider-Man. Godspeed. I don't know how to end these. I don't know how to end these things anymore. Yeah, you can stick along if you want to. Stick along, tag along, stick around. Yeah, at some point I will make another one of these. Maybe I'll do something. Like maybe I'll like go outside. Dope. Thanks. You guys rock. Thanks for sticking with me all these years. Yeah, no, that's not